This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I'm here with executive chef Christopher Palik in Paese's wonderful vegetable garden in the north of Toronto, and it really is quite a sight to behold. Chef, how are you today?
I'm very good, thank you.
So tell me a little bit about this vegetable garden, how it came into being and what purpose it serves.
Well, we acquired the space mostly for the garage, and we took a look at this plot of land and we thought to ourselves, this is a pretty good size. This could make a really great garden in the middle of the city. It made sense to both Tony and myself, the owner of Elite Catering. I think both of our backgrounds definitely have always grown up around a farm or a garden. To me it made sense. It's a natural extension of what we do as chefs, and I think, you know, as much as it provides produce for our restaurant, I think it's actually really cool for our employees to be able to see what an artichoke looks like growing in the garden and what Brussels sprouts look like, and I think try to bridge that gap between, you know, just going to a store and pulling things off the shelf to actually see really where they come from and the sort of respect for how much work it takes to maintain a space and how to grow things properly, but actually where they come from.
And how much of the produce that you require for both the catering operation and the two restaurants is provided from this garden here?
Well, this garden will provide the two restaurants with all their tomatoes for the entire summer. Chili peppers, zucchinis, cucumbers are the main things that we grow, and you know, enough for the two restaurants, which in actual fact is quite a bit. The catering company is just way too big for us to ever be able to properly service it from this garden, but just the mere fact that we can supply our two restaurants is huge. It's not even so much as a cost saving thing. It's just that there's something about eating a tomato that's grown and ripened in the sun, and I think that, you know, as a customer, when you bite into that you can tell. So for me, all the work that it takes, that's to me is so rewarding.
And do you find it quite cathartic yourself as a chef to be able to come up here before your shift and just potter about in the garden?
Yeah, absolutely. Every day here I think that I have to be one of the luckiest chefs in the city of Toronto to be able to have this and to be able to work it. And there is something really peaceful and relaxing about getting your hands dirty every day before you actually start work. But I tell people too, in the middle of the day, it's amazing to be able just to walk away from phones and Blackberries and computers and to come and be really transported to someplace completely different, and it's 2 minutes away from my kitchens. It's incredible.
Well, I think you're right there. I think there's so many chefs who would kill for something like this, and to have access to this kind of produce. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now you have quite an interesting kind of scarecrow up there. What's the story behind that?
Well, I don't know that it really scares anything, but
it scared me.
Every garden needs something cuddly on a stick, right? When we actually acquired the property, it was completely desolate, run down, full of garbage. It is the last piece that was remaining from the cleanup, right? And it's been proudly displayed for 3 years, and I don't think we could have a garden without it.
Now, do you have, what are the actual problems that you have? You mentioned there's some critters around about here that are a little bit of a pest in your garden.
Yeah. Well, the groundhogs were here before us, and they're not going anywhere. And I think we feed quite a good-sized community of raccoons as well.
Right, and what are their favored crops?
Anything young and tender, any soft kind of leaf that they can get their hands on. All of our chicory, any of our lettuces are near impossible to grow. The raccoons will basically try anything once. So every plant that I touch has got a raccoon that's taken a bite out of something and tossed it aside. But the reality is that we're part of a community, and they were here before us, and you know what? What are you going to do?
Now, I see you have a plethora of tomatoes here, and a whole lot of zucchini, and a whole lot of herbs, some artichokes I see down there, peppers. Do you grow many root vegetables? I didn't actually spot many of those when I was looking around the back there.
No, we don't, to be honest with you. I tend to grow what my kitchens use the most of, and what, you know, to me, I can buy a beautiful carrot from Cookstown, let's say. I have trouble buying a beautiful tomato, and that to me, I mean, tomato is one of the most bastardized things I think that are out there. So for me, and especially owning Italian restaurants and being a chef in an Italian restaurant, it's something that I've taken on as a sort of thing that I'm going to serve the most amazing tomatoes possible, right? So no root vegetables, just a lot of what I use during the summertime at my restaurants.
Right. Well, thank you very much for exposing us to the pleasures of Paese's secret vegetable garden. You're a very privileged man indeed to have access to all of this, and I'll tell you don't get much more local than this. This is fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us at Good Food Revolution today.
Thank you.